Hi.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
So it's Tuesday. It's a magical day. It's February 2nd. I'm sorry, I messed it up. February 22nd, 2022. What a great, great day. Do you guys have anything planned? Anything special planned for today? Hey, Maria. Hey, June.
Hello, hello.
Leanne. Sally. Hi. Hi, Marilyn. Cynthia. Chantal. Bonjour. Did I say it right?
Bonjour.
Bonjour. They always, I took French for 4 years, but I don't speak it. But I remember they would tell us to, to
How are
pronounce things as if you had like a hot potato in your mouth
you?
or something like that. Yeah.
Hi, Lynn. Hey, Karen, Eileen, Nadia,
And
Brenda.
Mail. Thanks for joining us. Oh, sorry, it's raining and snowing. Not ideal weather. Oh, you're
Hey,
baking cookies, Joanne. That's wonderful. Our neighbors will love it.
hello, Sharon. Hello, everybody.
Howdy to Texas. Is it howdy or how is
Hey,
it
I'm
howdy?
guessing how it works.
I think howdy works. All
Hi,
right, so
Victoria.
stay
So,
our regular time, and we're going to do some cookie decorating. Marlin, well, I'm gonna be doing cookie decorating. Marlin is going to do something special for you
I
guys.
had a request from Susan, who joined us last week for the live. If you guys watched Friday, we were decorating with some of our viewers. Some of you guys joined us anyway. So she requested that I talk about the paint a cookies and everything that's kind of needed for the paint a cookie. So hold on, is this going to turn on, or is of course I'm going to have a problem today?
1, 2, 3. It's you. I'm learning this thing. It's you count to 5. Everything is
You
fine.
count to 5 and then what? You rip
Everything
your
is
hair
fine.
out?
Yes, yes. Finally, somebody. Yes, happy. I mean, it's a magical day. I mean, something good is going to happen. Something good happens every day, as we talked about, right? Hi, Emily. So glad you could join us, and I'm echoing. So that's the special thing that is happening today. You can hear me twice. Wonderful.
You're
Hello,
echoing?
Trisha. You want me to go because I'm ready. I have my
Hey,
water. I'm gonna.
give me one more little thing. Maybe this will work. I took the battery out. Maybe that will be the magic.
I've got my water hot, so that's good. So I could go. If you want me to, if you want a minute.
I mean, of
Let
course.
me know and I will run for the water. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Sabra.
I guess you're gonna have to, Han, and I'm gonna fiddle
Okay,
while you're doing
so
that.
give me 10 seconds and I'll be back.
So I'm trying my camera, and of course it was working just fine before. Oh, hello, Susan. I'm going to be talking about the paint a cookie today, as requested. It's actually going to be two. So for today, I'm only going to be talking about the palettes, and on Friday, I'll be actually decorating cookies. I'm going to try to address everything and all your questions.
So I'm back, and today it's hot. I've got it in a small jar. And I'm like, oh, it's hot. So today I'm going to do something I haven't done before on a cookie. I haven't seen it done on a cookie. I mean, well, I guess Amber did it. Sweet Amber did it with fondant. I did it on a cake a couple of years ago. So I'm gonna attempt to do it again because I think it's like one of my favorite childhood activities. I think. So let me bring up my camera, a little camera dance. Oops! Oh, what did I do? Oh, I'm in a.
Ah,
I did something. Oh my goodness.
what did you do?
Sorry. I need
We're
to
having a lot of problems. So are you good? Because now I'm
because I didn't realize I went to full mode and I didn't see the comments. All I saw was anyway. I'm back. I'm back. Doesn't matter what the problem was.
well, sorry, guys. Amateur hour today. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it together. It's the 22nd. That's why.
I'm sorry. It's a special day. It's throwing us off. It's like the alignment of stars or whatever it's happening. When is the full moon? Can we blame it on full moon? Something magical was happening in the sky world
The
recently.
universe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think there was. So this is my soft sugar cookie, guys. The recipe is listed on my blog.
Here, let me put it up. Here's
Recipe
your blog.
with sour cream. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to, because the cookie dough has baking powder and baking soda, it doesn't really bake flat as you can see. On the edges especially, it's visible. So I'm going to turn it upside down. And you can see that I use perforated mat to bake these. And I have here, and I will have this recipe out this week. I'm working on it. It's in progress on a blog. This is the crusting recipe that I am using for cookie decorating. It's the hybrid that I created. And so let's start. I colored my icing with this is electric blue, electric pink, and yellow. So I'm not gonna tell you what I'm making. You can guys guess. Maybe somebody will.
Guesses.
Happy second technical mishap. Yes. We don't call it all like it's all right. We always have these issues, but it has become such norm that.
Yes, exactly. I know tardis. That means late. Buenos tardes. Is that what that is?
Buenos tardes means good afternoon, I believe.
Oh.
I'm getting there.
Yes, Janet. Very good. She's making Easter eggs.
Yes. I think Buenos tardes is good afternoon. I think I got that right.
So Hannah's using buttercream, a concoction that she's come up with that kind of dry, sort of ish.
Yes, but it's without Crisco. Most of the recipes that I've or vegetable shortening, and I'm not a big fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's not a dinosaur egg.
The thing about the Crisco, I've seen it a lot, and it's the quick one that they've been using it for, like, you know, the vegan movement, if you will.
Oh yeah.
I'm also not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. It's usually Crisco and butter, and I'm not a huge fan anyway. So coconut oil. I don't know coconut oil. I haven't tried that. So now I'm just going to like kind of roughly smooth it. I'm not too worried. If you're worried about the colors blending, don't be. It's fine.
I'd worry the coconut oil because it's really got it melts.
Oh, it melts and it's
very
like
warm.
The flavor also. I mean, unless the flavor will transfer. I don't know if coconut oil would work, although it solidifies, but it melts fairly quickly.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. Yeah. That's kind of cool, just like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's my tutorial for today. It's a special day. I'm telling you, it's the alignment of the stars. Like, so how is your day going so far? I know we are a couple hours apart, but
I've just about had with winter. We had a crazy storm 2 days ago, and now they're announcing like rain and stuff. I'm so over it. Anybody else sick of winter? I've pretty much,
you've had it.
Yeah, I've had it. I've hit my quota.
Now I'm using it. It's a piping tip. Sorry, folks. So this is a piping tip, round piping tip number 12. Now I've seen. Yes, it does. I've seen. I'll show you. I'll show you on Friday, Sally, because I'll be doing another buttercream tutorial on Friday. I was going to say on Instagram I follow Instagram account, and she uses large piping tip with the royal icing. Have you seen it? And she's icing it. So I'm not allowing the full capacity of icing coming through the hole. I'm basically going very, very low. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're basically flattening it as you squeeze it out.
Yes.
I don't think coconut oil is going to work in Puerto Rico. I don't think so.
Really?
Well,
I
Puerto
don't
Rico, she's
like
saying it's
coconut
49
oil. I
degrees.
buy it solidified, and then if it gets a little bit warm, it liquefies. Okay, so now I know this is a lot of black buttercream, but don't worry about that. I've got another one here. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be
Dancing from one cookie to the other.
yeah, I'm gonna just transfer it onto this one because I don't want like so much of it on here, but it
I
just
always loved those days sticking your finger in the cake. Yes. She's decorating and had a technical mishap.
oh yes, buttercream or fondant.
That's it, Karen. You're hitting the nail on the head.
What is it? Oh, is this like what you've done on a cake? Yes, yes, Karen. Yes, Karen. I'm doing another cake, but I wanted to. Well, actually, it was my husband. He's like, "Well, why don't you do it on a cookie?" I'm like, like, "Are you sure?" And this is yeah. I already did it 3 times, and I'm still not sure about the effect. But Marlin convinced me that I should try it doing the live.
Well, I think that in my experience, when I do experimental stuff, you guys like it. I mean, it's fun to see new ideas. You know, sometimes they don't work, but they sometimes, even if they don't work, lead to another idea. So it's all good.
Yes. So I have a cake in mind to do with this technique again because it seems like it's very popular and it was really, really fun. And to tell you this black buttercream, I started off with cocoa. Okay, so it's not pure black. It's mostly cocoa powder, and I'm scraping this off.
So the paint palette or the icing palette, that's a paint tool. If you want to look for that, you can order them on Amazon. Do you have the supply list today?
I don't have a supply list, but I have these listed on Amazon. So they come in different sizes. Like this is pretty long. I mean, for the cookies, it's very good, but I like to use small ones as well. They come in different variety of sizes. You see, this one is quite small. This is great if you are using royal icing and you want to do some marbling and blend it. So it gives a different result as opposed to if you're using a scribe, if you're using royal icing. Now I'm getting sidetracked
Well,
here.
if you want to experiment, if you've seen those buttercream flowers that they do with the spatula, you'll need a spatula of this size, these art
Yes.
ones, if
Yes.
you want to attempt on royal icing on a cookie. The big spatula is not gonna work cookie size.
Now I should probably spread this one as well so it doesn't crust because it will crust. So I've got some actually ready, they're crusting. And other tools that I'm going to be using are carving tools.
Yes, taper spatulas. We didn't know the name. Thank you, Marianne.
So guys, how are you doing? I guess we talked since Valentine's Day? I guess we have.
Well, yes, we had our hen live last Friday, which was lots of fun.
Hen chicken.
It was a hen party.
It was a hen party, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
A true hen party.
Yes. It was so much fun. I hope ladies who joined us, maybe watching, you guys had also fun. And thank you for sending the pictures. This actually smells very good because of the cocoa powder. And like I said, I will have a tutorial. It's still in progress. When you're doing these blog posts, it takes a while to kind of do everything. And I'm doing a little video for it as well. So forgive me if it takes a little longer.
We're usually juggling multiple projects at once.
Yes, exactly. Now I'm just going to wipe everything off because it's black. I don't want it to be transferred on anything. So this one, it's already crusted here. And what I have here, I told you, the hot water here. So the hot water, it's going to come handy because I will be using these tools. These are carving tools. These are for clay, folks. These are clay carving tools, and they come also in different sizes. I find these are quite small, really for nice details. You can also get them in, I think, maybe even smaller. And I also have some larger ones here.
Oh, that's an extensive set.
So this is these are larger ones, and these are all for clay. Now, obviously, if you are planning on decorating your cake or cookies using these, please don't use them with clay and then cookies. So just have a set for clay and cookies. Okay. So so now I have okay. So I'm going to. The reason I need hot water is to quickly remove residue of buttercream from it. And I also have a dry paper towel here, so I'm going to be wiping that off. So this will be off camera, so you won't see me doing that, but I'll just demonstrate. So I'm gonna put my tool in hot water. Because it's hot, butter and hot water, you know what happens. It will slide off. And then because this has drips of water on it, so I'm just going to dry it off quickly. Okay, and then I'll continue. And the heat is going to help with the carving also. When you're doing this on a cake, your cake is very, very chilled. So heat helps with the carving process. Okay. So wish me luck. This is the second time.
Good luck. Better be good.
I didn't hear you guys, please. Okay. Let me see. I have my prototype here, so I'm going to put it here so I can kind of look at it while I'm working. Now I'm going to switch. So this was a round one. And then I really like these small ones. They're kind of same, but different at the same time. I don't know if you can see. They're all kind of triangular shape, but they're it's same but different.
Yeah.
Like these two are the same, basically a bit smaller. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this one with the nose here. Okay. Oh, you bought those. Well, now you have a reason to use them. If not for this, you could use it on a cake.
So do you think that this is child friendly as an activity for Easter? Or no?
The problem is not the carving. Problem is if they stick this into their mouth. This is pretty sharp. Like if they start licking it, they could I mean, it's not sharp like knife sharp, but I think it could probably cause some bruising or something.
Okay.
I think. I mean, I think they could. Sometimes kids have motoric skills that are beyond my understanding, so they are able to do. Like my niece, I mean, she could she's very patient. She could do things like that, but it takes a little bit of time, you know.
Because the actual activity of coloring Easter eggs is pretty messy and involved. So if you can decorate other kinds of eggs.
This is very look, it's coming in. I mean, yes, there is unfortunately, there is some
waste.
There is some waste. I mean,
that's fine. I mean, in everything there is.
There is some waste. So
that's cool.
So now I'm going to, I mean, you could just do this, hey, but I'm going to go with, let's see, I'm going to extend this petal a little bit. And then I'm going to go with a petal in between the petals.
So Chantel's asking, you had that in the fridge before or no?
No, it's been just sitting here. This is the crusting buttercream that I have, and recipe will be, I know this is my third week saying that, but it will be on the blog this week.
Promises.
The thing is, I still want to do one more test. Yes, that is exactly, Susan. That's what I was going for. Scratch off art. Yes. I love doing it as a kid. I haven't done it since the first grade or maybe second grade. Have you? I'm dying to like maybe do it.
Well, actually, Jessica, my daughter, who's 19, we were at the Dollarama and they had a pad of them. They have these sheets that you can just kind of doodle on, and she got one, so she has it on her desk. Then she does it during her university lectures when she's bored, like listening to them. She'll doodle on that.
I think it's fantastic. I love
It's
doing it.
buttercream. Both the color and the black is buttercream. The whole thing is buttercream. Sherry says beautiful and creative.
Thank you. So now I think this could be done. If you
So
want to,
Gail is asking if you let that colored layer crust before you applied the black layer.
not really when you were, if you were watching, or was I? No, I think no, I didn't because they're all, I have it all. You could let it rest for a couple, I would say maybe 10 minutes just to be on a safer side, but I really didn't, I have to say, because they're all, I have them all colored and I did two here, right? I colored two eggs and I added black.
So do
Okay.
you think royal icing would work? Julie's asking.
Realizing, oh, I
I
doubt
don't think so.
I doubt that because realizing it's just different medium. Yeah, I don't think it
So
would
if
work.
I can I actually did this with colored dough.
Oh, you
And
did?
yeah, I colored some dough, and then I actually painted the cookie in white food gel, like we see, that crackly effect. And then I carved, revealing the colored dough underneath, and it was quite nice, actually.
So I'm gonna do another one, okay, and I'll show you. This is another technique you can try.
That's
So,
it. See, Sally saw the video. That's it. It's exactly, it's just a different.
so this is actually crafting buttercream I'm gonna have a recipe out on the blog this week. So this is a fondant tool, okay, folks. So um
It's buttercream.
oh, dark purple or bright pink. Well, if I add pink onto the pink, I wouldn't have the effect. Dark purple probably would work as well if you want to do a different color. Yes. But this is I was trying to do a scratch off art X. And with that, I think mostly you use black. What is that black stuff you use? What is it called? Black. For the scratch off art when you do the crayons and then you.
Oh, I don't know what it's called, what that is. It's
What is it called, folks? So
carbon? Is it like carbon paper?
no. It's like for the ink. It's ink, no?
I don't know what it is. It's like
It's
I
ink.
guess the
Okay,
law.
guys, please let us know. I mean, we are fine. We are perfectly fine. We're just we can remember. Is it ink? I think it's ink.
We only have, sporadic senior moments, and then we come back to, to normal.
So, so I'm going to actually do a little, I'm gonna do a little impression of it. Just it was too. I did it too much. Too much. Okay, that's why we have this. Oh no, I can just leave it and make the line. What am I? I'm stressing about nothing. All right, so now I'm going to attempt to do this. It's going to take a little while. It's ink. Okay. So it has to be ink and then it dries and then you use. Can you believe? Okay, now this is, you tell me something. Now, many, many years later, we use razor, like to scratch
Blade,
it.
actual razor blade. Oh yeah.
Yes, razor blade we use. So imagine having that now in second grade.
Oh yeah. The teacher is handing out razor blades in grade 2. Yeah, I don't know if that would fly anymore.
Yeah, I don't think either. No, this is the buttercream. I'm using buttercream today. And
But
if
the
you
kind of
what you don't see off the camera that I'm dipping it in hot water, removing the residue buttercream, and then kind of drying it, like dabbing it on paper towel to kind of for the paper towel to absorb any liquid that is on it because I don't want to add water to my buttercream. Okay. A lot of people have seen this, like they say when it's done on cakes. I've gotten lots of comments on the cake that I made a couple years ago with this same technique, but with Swiss buttercream. And if you're making it with a cake, your buttercream needs to be chilled. Um, I've gotten comments that it looks like carved candles.
It's Mamie, Bonita. It's buttercream, crusting buttercream.
I will on Friday. If you join us on Friday, I might actually make the buttercream on Friday, and then I'll do the tutorial, or I will have the tutorial. I will have the tutorial for the buttercream on the blog. See, sometimes it gets stuck. You could also try, I would say, chilling it. It will make it hotter, buttercream as it chills. I haven't chilled it because I wanted to see if it would work just crusting. And it does work just with crusting. Now I'm going to switch my tool. Maybe I can use the round. Let's do the same thing on this side. It's very hard to get any like intricate details, I would say. I am pulling some of the colored buttercream as well because I want to make sure, like you see what I'm pulling off. There is also some colored one, colored. I'm trying not to go too deep, obviously. But if you don't go deep enough, then the whole point of exposing the bright color underneath,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I mean, then you have to go again. You have to do it, twice. So you don't want to go too deep that you expose the cookie, obviously. And like I said, for some of you, it may be better when it's chilled. So you could just chill the cookies and do it after, and then allow them to air fry so that it crusts. You could do that. What else am I gonna do? I'm gonna do here. And these tools, I do have them listed in my Amazon shop. Or if you wanna quickly look them up, you can look up my on my blog haniela.com flour scratch cake or something like that. I can't remember how I named it. The tools that I used are listed there, and there is a direct link there. How are we on time? Oh, I'm over time. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this, and then the screen is all yours.
Well, we did some technical issues at the beginning there, so.
How are you? How is it now? Are you all set?
I'm fine. I'm just saying that you didn't have your full half hour.
Oh,
So
okay.
don't worry about it.
Okay.
How long?
Right.
Asking Han, how long did you leave it?
6 to 8 hours, just like Royal. I mean, I can bring some cookies that I have decorated with this and with this icing, and I have them packaged. The thing is, just like with Royal icing, if you're gonna do some detailed like piping roses and stuff, and you put it in the packaging, it will most likely fine petals will most likely break off. So you also have to be mindful of that. What else do I do? Here, maybe I'll do here quickly. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of like using lots of black food coloring. So that's why I used cocoa powder in this. And it really wasn't that black when I finished. I did add some black food coloring, obviously, but it was more like dark gray. But over time, it really just deepens. Okay. I'm so glad I chose these colors. I was going with pastel, but I think pastel colors, I don't know if they would.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as pop, like wouldn't pop.
Yeah, I don't think it would pop as much as this.
Hmm.
I did another one here, but I didn't. I don't know. This one is this was a prototype. So that's my project for today, guys. You could just get away, like somebody suggested, use. I think they do deepen with buttercream as well. Mine actually did a little bit, especially the black. It did. It did. It got like black. Um, if you're not a fan of black, I think even like dark brown would work. It may
And
not.
white.
And white would also, yes, white would also, yeah, I might try that in white. White might be actually very pretty for Easter. Very pretty.
A very
What
nice.
you could also do, you could also add, like, there are so many different things, I guess. I mean, we can maybe do that some other time. But I like the idea of white. I might actually try that, do some in white later on. Okay, so that's my project for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to do a little camera dance now that Mar is ready. There.
All right. So today I'm talking about paint-a cookies. If you don't know what a paint-a cookie is, you're basically creating a blank canvas for the recipient to paint themselves, as opposed to when you give a fully completed cookie. So today I'm going to show you the paint palettes and the options with regards to the advanced prep you can do. And then on Friday, we're actually going to make some cookies. But today it's paint palettes, your questions, what to use, all that good stuff. So I do have a supply list up in my coffee shop. That's free if you want to go and check it out. I've added some links to pre-made palettes, markers, different things. So let's start with markers. Markers were the first kind of way you would color a cookie. And that, if you're you're making cookies for your children at home, for your own family, markers are great. You don't need to go through the trouble of making these paint palettes if you're doing this for your own kids. You can get a nice pack of markers for $10, and that can be your little kind of activity with your kids. You don't need to, I don't think, make the palettes if you're doing this for your kids. But if you want to sell cookies and add a paint palette to your cookies, well, they sell these pre-made palettes that you can buy, which are easy. Yes, you can just attach it to the cookie, but they're very expensive. Like if you price them out, very expensive. If you consider the margins that we get on a cookie, you know, it's very small. So you're attaching a paintbrush, the cost of the paintbrush, the cost of the pre-made palettes, your margin, like there's not much left for you. So if you can actually make your paint palettes, your profits are more, you know, you're going to end up making more money. So how could you make your palettes quickly and easily? Well, when I first invented the paint a cookie, I actually had created a section on the side of the cookie where I added my paint colors. And then I was like, well, that's not ideal. Yes.
What was the first?
It was a Halloween cookie in I don't know, long time, 2014 something, long time ago.
Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Time ago. So the first idea was that I added the paint chips to the side of the design. And then, you know, like trying to evolve. And so then I had done painted royal icing dots, and then I did painted M&Ms. And then I started making the separate palettes. So here is probably the least expensive and fastest way to go about it. So you can get, these are craft sticks, but you can get tongue depressors at the pharmacy. Obviously, they are food safe. They're made to go in your mouth at the doctor's office. And so every time you have leftover icing, you can just pipe some dots on the tongue depressors. And you set them to the side, and create your pile, and you can pull them out for Easter, pull a few out if you have maybe a party to do. Then you'll have a bunch for Christmas. Then you can line them up like this and just airbrush them, okay? Any questions, guys? Just pop them in. Yeah, no royalties. No royalties. Anyway, I'm not going to get started on that.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah. And then you can, if you want to be like more polished, because you will get overspray on the tongue depressor, you can pipe your dots on parchment paper like this. So then you can just airbrush and all the overspray will just go on the paper and you don't have to worry about it, looking a bit messy. If you're just airbrushing this, well, obviously you're going to get airbrush all over the stick and everything. It looks, like artisanal. It's less polished. It's not because that's it, Cynthia. So you can't, hit exactly because of the perimeter. But I have created a stencil where you can kind of protect the lollipop stickle, the tongue depressor a little bit, so you can spackle the icing and then airbrush, and it gives a more polished look. Again, it all depends how much time you have and how involved you want it all to be. So I did come up with kind of a more, again, polished, professional looking version. So this is also in the coffee shop. This is a digital download to cut with your silhouette. And you can see here, I printed my logo, and you can make these in advance. So here what you do is you can fold it like that. And then when it's folded, you see where you can pipe your dots. So you just pipe your dots in those holes. Okay. And you can do it pretty quickly. And you want an icing that's not super stiff. You want to be able to work quickly, but if it's too runny, it'll spread past those holes, okay? So once this is done, well, you can open it to paint it, and then you don't have to worry about all that overspray. When you close it, the overspray is hidden. So I'm going to do some actual painting now. I'm going to move my lovely cutting board just because I don't want to stain it.
Yes, Camille says you can get the sticks at the Walmart. Yes, absolutely. They
Yes, and they're really not expensive.
Yes, they're not that expensive.
So I have multiple airbrush guns. If you don't, well,
really.
Well, some people maybe are new to the live.
Well, Marlin she's an owner of how many? I'm gonna do 6.
I have like 5 or 6. Yeah, probably have more than that if you count the plugged ones.
Yes. So she loves an airbrush.
So I'm just going to put them all here so you guys can see. So you can get away with using only 3 colors. The 3 primary colors: yellow, blue, and red. And with those colors, you can make orange, green, and purple. So you don't need to have a ton of colors.
Yes, she's the queen of airbrushes. Oh, I like that.
So here, for these, I'm just going to color the whole thing. You see here, I can do all this yellow. And then here, I'm hitting this one yellow. And then I'm doing the whole row here in yellow. And then I'm going to do the one next to it in yellow. All done. I'm out. So this one
what
here.
What are the colors, airbrush colors you're using today?
I'm using 3.
But what? I'm sorry, I meant the brand.
Oh, the brand, these are drip color.
Drip color.
So you see, I don't have to worry about getting it perfect with these ones. I can just airbrush kind of quickly, and I don't have to worry about the airbrush getting on the paper, and they're going to look very polished. You'll see in a second, because that all gets hidden away. Now yes, I'm grabbing.
So Chantel is asking, is it the paint from the palettes that you will use to paint your cookie?
So you would use this as airbrush color, and then you wet your paintbrush and activate the airbrush color. Oh, of course, the battery's dead. And then you activate the color with water. The recipient will activate the color with water when they get it. So this all has to dry, and airbrush dries pretty quickly. And so the person will be able to paint it on there, just with water. And
Are you happy with the coverage of the drip color, the airbrush color?
What did you say?
Are you happy with the coverage of the airbrush?
I really like the drip color, yes.
What's wrong? The camera battery is dying?
No, my airbrush, one of them was dead, and so
I'm telling you, it's the date. I'm telling you, it's the date. It's 2/20.
I didn't test it before, which I should have. But anyway, so now
star alignment is.
So now I'm just doing some blue dots. So why would you use airbrush and not gel? Well, the gel is gel, and it can not dry that well. And then the application, you see here, I'm making the green by passing over the yellow with the blue. I'm making green. And then over here, I'm going to make purple. I'm adding a little bit of blue over here. And when I add the red, I'll have a purple dot. So here.
Once you're ready, we have a couple questions. I don't want to interrupt your airbrushing.
So here, let me just quickly get this one done. So you see, the yellow, I'm making green, and then a blue one, and here I will have a purple one. What's the question?
First of all, shout out to Kim. We love you. Good luck. I hope everything works out. Be strong. So I have a question from Sally. So just the small amount that coats the icing will be enough to paint the extension of the cookie?
Well, it depends on how big the cookie is. You can do some kind of tests of see how far it goes. But like you see here, these dots are quite big. So you can get away with not a huge palette if the cookie is not a huge cookie, But if the cookie is big, you might have to include a little bit more. And so here now I'm making the purple. You see I'm adding the red on top of the blue. I'm getting purple there. And then I have my red dot. And if you hit the dots carefully, you see you don't get too much overspray on the wood.
Oh, you're not. You are a professional.
And then here, again, the same thing.
So, second question, Krisha, I aspire to be like Mar. I have 3 wireless. One is clogged and the other tip, on the other one, the tip is bent or something. Oh, I wonder if you could, can you replace a needle?
So you can replace the needle, but you can also buy guns alone. I usually, when I'll order, like I have 2
airbrush guns. That is.
Yeah, you can get them reasonably priced. I mean, the clogging is an issue, so you can, like I say, get the replacement gun if you can't seem to fix the one you have. Sometimes if you soak an airbrush gun that is clogged overnight, or put it in hot water, really hot water, because it's stainless steel. This whatever the sediment that's in there will melt, and it'll help you kind of.
But you have to be patient, because I've had my airbrush clogged, and I would think like it would be fairly quickly that it would dissolve, but it really took overnight for it to do the work. And because once the color dries, it's concentrated and it's like gluish, like it's very, very strong.
Yeah, you might have to soak it in water, Fabiola. So soak it in hot water. Melt your whatever's clogging it in there.
So Rose is asking, what is the difference between drip color and American color airbrush color?
Americolor is very, very good. Very good. I'm always looking at new products. I'm always intrigued by new products. Americolor, it's like a tiny bottle. I liked the format, the drip color here. If I put them, you see the size difference. The other bottle of drip color of Americolor is so big that it's like, this is like in the middle. The next size up of this is so big that I find that the stuff like almost has time to dry out by the time I use it, And the drip colors are just, they have just slightly different color palette. It's like, changing a paint brand. Sometimes there's just different colors. I mean, you can see they're very intense. I just, they're not better. I like them. I wouldn't say they're better. They're just as good. So
Kim has a question. If you already answered this, I apologize. I don't think we have. But could you use colored icing? Is there a difference between the two?
So if you mix the food gel or I use sometimes airbrush to color my icing. So if you mix it into the icing and not just do a surface, okay, it's not going to be activated by water at all. If you color your icing and let it dry and then like wet it, the color is embedded in there. It will not be activated by the water. If you do airbrush, you're getting a surface coverage, which is activated by water. And I'll show you right now. Let me just grab the paint, water, I mean.
Okay, so Marlin is getting something. She left me here all alone.
I just went to get water. I didn't leave you all alone. So you can see here, you can use any kind of paintbrush. Obviously, it would need to be stuff that hasn't been, you want to use like paintbrushes that are clean and new. You don't want to start pulling out the paintbrushes you use with acrylic. And so this here, you can see, I'm going to just put it on this paper. So I'm just wetting it, and you see like it gets like exactly like a watercolor. And you see, I'm able to.
Yes, we see a puddle of colored paint in the.
There.
What's great also that the dimpling, you know, like when you do the dimpling, it actually kind of.
Yes, it creates a bit of a.
It creates a little bit of a. What I'm trying to say.
Like a little dip to hold the paint.
Dip for the paint to kind of hold it. I mean, it is sugar, right? Real icing. So eventually, if the water sits there for a bit, I mean, it starts to dissolve, right?
And then if you, but it doesn't matter. And if you let this dry, no, this is not going to come out yellow. If you let it dry, you can reuse it. Like the color, like the airbrush color, can be reactivated after it's dried. You see? And there's you're able to paint. So if you buy the paint palettes, they sell two kinds. They sell one kind that's kind of like they spray the color on like a food safe plastic type sheet. And then they have other people that are making them now. They're printing using their food printer. They're printing squares onto frosting sheets. Again, price point, like if you price out a frosting sheet, just to buy a frosting sheet that is used to decorate cakes and cookies, they're very expensive. So if you're using that to print your food color onto and then cutting that up, again, very expensive. When this leftover icing on this, I mean, the cost is, you know, then you can package these once they're dry. You can package them with your paintbrush. You see here a little paintbrush, and you've got like the perfect thing. So here, let me just show you guys this one.
Okay.
What is it?
You are going fast. So Trisha, Sweet Sugar Bell, Callie, Sweet Sugar Bell. I think that's is it sweetsugarbell.com? She has a really good post about but she takes the airbrush apart. So that's how I took my airbrush apart, and then I watched a couple of videos. So if you ever forget like how to put things together, like you can refer to maybe her post or some of the videos. Rose is saying that she made her palette with an airbrush color, and it was a bit tacky after it dried. Do you know maybe why?
So maybe you added maybe a little bit like a lot of the airbrush. So what you can do to resolve that is you just give them a light dusting with cornstarch.
Oh yeah, that's a good tip.
So
I love your little palette. Look at that. Look at her little palette.
So here's the little palette. You can see I added the little paintbrush and the logos there, and you can put those in, you package them up, and you can have little instructions, and you can make these in advance, seal them, and then attach them to your cookies. And then the longer version, this one here, this is a different kind of shaped one. These are both in the digital file, you see? And you can just glue them with royal icing. I'm not using glue, I'm using royal icing to close them up. And this one here, I would use, I would put the yellow over here to make an orange. That's what for this one here. Where's my yellow?
So I have a couple more questions. My pleasure, Trisha, my pleasure. Denise is asking,
Hmm?
You spray color on wafer paper.
Yes, you can, but do multiple small passes
But
because when you oversaturate wafer paper, it tends to buckle and get wonky.
well,
So
that's what I mean. Like if you plan on using it for the palette, it's not gonna
no,
really work because if you add water to it, it will immediately like
it
it's like
melts.
when you put it on your tongue, it starts immediately
Yes.
dulling. So it doesn't really hold
No,
texture or structure for very long
no.
So it wouldn't work, I think.
See, I did an orange here on this. So you get a 6 on this one. And this one here, you only get the 5 colors. You could do a larger hole in the middle if you wanted. Let's say your design was mostly green. Well, you could do a big green dot in the middle and then have the other colors. I do like having your information somewhere on this because chances are the person that receives it will think it's very cool and will want your information. Where can I get this myself? You know?
Can
Yeah.
you freeze them?
There's no need to freeze these. This is sugar, it dries, and you don't have to freeze it
Like
at
maybe
all.
we were talking about this room. Do you guys remember? I think it's maybe from like old-fashioned candies. Remember those dots?
Yeah.
What were those? Were they
I don't
those?
know what those were
They
called,
were
but
like
you guys,
on a strip like dot. They were like dots of something. You
yeah,
know
remind us, guys.
what it
I
was?
don't have any recollection of the name of that. So anyway, so yeah, so you have these paint palettes, you have the longer version, you have the tongue depressor. And if you look at the supply list that I created in coffee, you have the food doodler marker. You have then they've come out with mini markers. Companies have come out with these tiny markers, but again, it takes your price point up.
So, Rose, you can find a template, and we forgot to tell you that this template, can you maybe show your little palette that you created? It's
Yes.
available. It is available in Marlin's template and recipe shop, coffee.com/Montreal Confections. So go over there, hurry up. It's a digital download.
And do I have time? The last thing I wanted to show you guys, because if you're preparing now for Easter, I've shown this during Christmas. Oh yeah, so here are the dots. Let's say you wanted to make the dots in advance. With the digital download, I have a sheet with the dots. If you want to pipe them, if you want to do just your yellow, and some people are more particular about how they work,
They
candy
look like
buttons,
candy
that's it.
buttons. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Maria.
So the other thing I just wanted to show you guys is the advanced bows. I haven't shown it in a while, and usually people like that. So if you're making cookies for Easter, Easter's probably one of the bigger holidays. Christmas is
There
very
is
popular, but Easter's up there.
17, right? It's in
It's
April
in a
17th.
month,
No.
2 months, 2 months.
It's
You're
a
right.
bit later this month, April 17th.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. And
Okay.
so we have 2 months to prepare. So you can actually start making your bows now if you wanted. So if you go to Michael's, they're already carrying the Easter supplies. So you need bows. This bow is too big, it's too wide, but it's what I had just to give you guys a quick demonstration. The other thing you need are these wired little kind of twist tie things. Okay, and then you can make your bows in advance as you're watching TV. And then when you're ready to wrap your cookies, you'll be able to quickly tie these, attach them to your cookies. And I find that a bow on an individually wrapped cookie just elevates it. It makes it look even more kind of special. Bows and, those little extra touches, a nice tag also. So you're doing like those ribbons that we see all the time. I usually don't cut the tail until it's actually formed, because sometimes you'll make it and then you're like, oh, it's too short or it's too this, and you've cut it and you've wasted a piece of your ribbon. So you don't even need to cut it until it's actually made. So you see here, I formed this. So I pin that loop behind, then I fold all that in half, and then I folded this steel or the metal wired thing also, and then I place it in. Do you see? So that corner that I folded, the twist tie, is tucked at the front of the ribbon, and then I can grab the ribbon and pull it all to the front of that twist tie, the corner of it, and then behind it I give it like 1 or 2 twists, and then I'll be able to leave this much because that has to go around the bag, and then you can kind of like respread the bow. You see, and there's your bow. And then once you've got it like kind of the size you want, then now you can cut it. So you can look at it and say, okay. And then you can cut the tails the length you want.
We did have, this is beautiful. We have couple questions. So is it cardstock, your template?
Yes,
Your,
it is cardstock. I did add that to the supply list. It is cardstock. It does not work as nicely with paper. Paper is a little bit too flimsy for it. Ideally, you're using cardstock. You can get a pack of 250 sheets. I don't think it's $20. I think it's less than that.
Is there a Cricut version of Marlin's palette template?
So it's a PNG file. So I am pretty sure that the PNG works for
Yes.
Cricut. Mm-hmm. So it's a PNG file, and you can format it pretty much any size you want, but you want to measure your paintbrush, because you can see here I formatted this one here. You see the paintbrush fits perfectly there, and then the other one, whoops, the longer one, see, it fits in also. And these paintbrushes cost less than the little paintbrushes. So if you only have these, you can actually use gardening shears and trim these inexpensive ones to the length that you need them for the smaller palette. These longer ones, funnily enough, are probably half the price of the littler paintbrushes.
The little ones are so dainty and just cute.
Yeah, they are nice, but they're expensive. So if you
request from your Mexican collection, Fabiola is asking for another bow.
I will make another bow, no problem. Okay, so ideally, like, this is a bit of a wide bow for this. Ideally, maybe a more narrow bow, and the narrower bows look nicer, I think, on the cookie, right? So you're doing this, you see? So it's just looped over like that. And so I'm taking the back of the loop and just pinning it with my finger. You see, so there's the loop. I'm pinning it in the back with my finger, and then I'm folding that in half. You do need a little bit of hand dexterity to do this. So I'm holding it now. You see the bow's folded in half. And so I've got the wired twist tie, and I'm folding it in half, and the corner of this, you see that little corner? I'm bringing that corner, that will be in the front of the bow. So I'm placing it where it's folded towards the front of the fold. The back fold is here. That's the back of the bow. So I'm putting the corner at the front, and then once I've got it, you see I'm kind of holding it, I grab the bow and I pull it, like bunch it up and pull it to the front. And then I'm able to twist all this behind. I do about 2 turns, because you need to have enough left over to tie around the cookie. So then you can open it, and then you can expand the bow here and like shape it. You see? And then you can trim your tails. Now the tail, this one here is that way. So I'm going to cut this side as well like that. So you can cut them any way you want. And now I can just take this and attach it to the cookie.
Beautiful.
Like the quickest way to attach to your cookies. You can actually buy these made, already tied. They sell them in bags of hundreds by the color. So that's it. So on Friday, I'll look at the actual cookie part. See, this is like a little bit more involved. That's why I took the whole half hour. So if you guys check out the supply list, it's free. You'll see the marker options. You'll see the pre-made palettes. You can buy the ones that are printed on wafer paper, the ones that are just manufactured onto this plastic kind of sheet. And you guys can make the decision as to how you want to go about what process you want to do. If you're making your own paint palettes, these ones, well, you can pass that cost on to your client, charge $2, $3 if they want extra ones. You charge them for those like you do for the cookies. So that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
So we hope you enjoyed that. And on Friday, do you have any idea what you said? You were kind of, you knew
I'm
what you
going to do, well, I will be using buttercream icing again, and I'll do some buttercream flowers on round cookies, and I'll talk about, maybe I'll have time to, I'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll make buttercream, we'll see, or I'll just talk about the buttercream in general.
Susan, I don't use the gel. I guess you could add alcohol to it. I find that the gel, because of the gel nature of it, when you add alcohol, there can be like kind of like a gelatiny clumpish thing that tends to happen. If you buy the airbrush colors and you don't have an airbrush gun, you can paint it on. But I don't love the gel colors for this application. So you can dilute it. I don't know then once it's diluted how much coverage you're going to get. I don't know. So that's it. So that's it, guys. So Friday, if you have more questions, you can ask, since we'll still be on topic on Friday. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.